we're coming back to you live
Yeah.
from our rooms. I'm Zach. Wow. Wow.
Sean, 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 Sean. Zach, my day sucked.
Man, tell me all about it.
Oh my gosh.
Holy
My
coach.
uh there's like not it's just okay, so here's what happened, okay? So at the UPS store where I work,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
you know the vibes. There is a we have house accounts with specific people slash businesses that are nearby who want to get regular stuff from the store and don't want to have to like ring up a credit card every time. We can just have them pay separate or like ahead of time,
Sure.
file, whatever. One of these companies who I'm debating whether I should name or not.
They're not sponsored. It's
I
fine.
won't. It's fine. It's whatever.
But
So
they
it's
could
this
sponsor
company
us.
called it's a company called Just Ingredients. They won't sponsor us. It's fine. Um,
Well, not after what you're about to
they
say.
always give us last minute orders of huge print jobs. Just ginormous, time consuming print jobs that are both big formatting wise, printing wise, and cutting wise. Just the whole shebang. Just the
Hmm.
worst. They're consistent and how annoying they are with it, I mean. And today, my boss, Donovan, is out for the week, and he messaged us because they contacted him directly and was like, they want 5,500 business cards by the end of the day.
Oh.
Um, Now, for all you viewers at home, 5,500 is a big number.
It's a couple. It's a couple.
So, yeah. And I mean, granted, we have like a big, like, hydraulic cutter. So it's not like I'm cutting these out one by hand, but it still is like 20 tiny business cards on an 11 by 17 sheet of paper. And you got to measure out each one and cut it just right. And if you're just off in one part, you're off on the whole stack. And that's a big problem. Anyways,
Yep.
it's fine. I won't
Yep.
go much further into it than that because you get the picture. So I spent probably like three business cards today.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
Um,
You spent 3 hours? Is that what you said?
yeah, that is what I said. Probably like 3 hours.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ah, I'm so
maybe a
sorry.
little less, somewhere in there, like 2 to 3 hours. Mind numbing, just painful. Um, just like killed me. Uh, the song, speaking of actually, the song Dead Inside by, who is that by again? Younger Hunger came on while I was doing it. And it felt very, because the chorus of that song is, I'm all talk with a thorn in my side. I got a real big heart that I'm willing to hide. You ask what I want from life. I said to make a lot of money and feel dead inside. That's how it felt. Um, and then, yeah, so I finished. It was horrible. I hated every minute of it. And then we have to write down like the counts for the pages and the cuts and everything like that properly, or my manager can bring them up properly. And so I
Mm-hmm.
wrote down like this number of pages, this number of cuts, this much card stock, and then underneath it all, I wrote um, surcharge for triggering Sean's depression.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, I just haven't been the same since, so it's okay. It's
You know
fine.
what? Man. Well, I have learned something from your story though, which
Yeah.
You charge for the cuts it takes? That's fascinating.
It's the way we have decided to charge the time, the service, basically. So we choose to pay a charge based on cuts we're cutting. It's not specifically actually how many cuts it takes, because we actually go way under than what that is. But it's the way we came up with to charge for the service of doing the cutting, because that's really what matters.
Man, I love scamming people for cuts too.
Yeah, it's yeah. So that's been the vibe.
Man, can I tell you about my terrible day? It's been so terrible. Listen.
Please.
I had to sleep in today with no responsibilities in the morning.
God.
I had no homework to do, so I just had to like chill until work. And then listen, this is where the crazy part comes in. I drive to work, and then neither of my students showed up, so I just had to go back home and get paid for it anyways. It's absolutely insane.
I could kiss you on the mouth right now.
Well, you gotta wait for that. I'm not a professor yet, okay?
Sorry, that's completely aside from what you were saying. My bad.
I don't know why, but you know how like in like movies and stuff, the cool teacher always has like a special handshake with each individual student.
Uh-huh.
I hate this came to mind. I'm like, so what I'm hearing is that every single student is gonna have a certain kiss for their professor every day as they come into class.
It took me a second to realize, but suddenly the connection came into my mind. I was like, oh.
I don't know why that image just came into my head. Finch.
You know, like those handshakes where they go, bah, and then they go like, you know?
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. What's the equivalent of the kiss for that one?
Clear. I don't think do I have to spell it out for you what the equivalent is?
No. You don't have to, but I was hoping you would. And that's how Sean kisses his wife every night. I see you've been practicing for when I become a professor.
Tell anyone.
Fetch. How did we get here? Where's the transition duck when I need him? Holy fetch.
Transition duck, save us. Man, that duck deserves a raise. I'll tell you what, he puts in the work.
Man, after transitioning us from that conversation, he really does deserve a raise.
Yeah, he's he's seen things.
Unfortunately, he has to be here for every recording and lose the brain cells.
The poor guy.
Except the worst part is he has to pay attention because he has to know when to transition.
Yeah.
He can't just be here and pretend.
It's crazy. He pays more attention to the show than we do.
It's true. I mean, I just show up.
Right? Like, we don't even care. We're just here. But he's like taking notes, preparing to be like, okay, here comes the transition. You know, that's a bad impression of him, but you understand what I was getting. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm really sorry, Transition Duck. Obviously, you are a master of your craft, and I should not have done what I just did. I'm sorry.
There's a reason we have hired him to do our transitions, Sean, because clearly you're not capable, and neither am I.
Hey, we all remember semester 3 when I was quacking for every transition. It just didn't go well. This is why people who are professionals.
I'm fetching love. Holy fetch! You cut out in the middle of that sentence. As you read, with us being professionals. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's all come together today, Zach. It truly is.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sean.
Oh, it's time. It's time.
No,
Okay,
no,
we're moving
no,
on.
no. It's I mean I didn't want to transition there, but the duck has decided this time.
The
So
duck. Well, the duck knows. The duck knows. We got to listen to the duck.
the duck is basically our producer in every way. So
Can you just like the spicy Nuggs credits as they're rolling? It just says produced by a duck.
I mean, can I just say how fitting it is that we now have a transition duck when spicy ducks originated at the duck pond, basically.
It's. We planned it from the beginning. We always say.
Oh yeah,
we knew this would happen. Yeah,
yeah.
It's just amazing. It's amazing for everybody else to experience it now.
Yeah, we've been planning it since episode 1. Like we finally made it here. It's been a long journey, but I'm so glad we finally got here.
Really glad. Me too.
I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but we made it.
Wow. We came so far, we walked so far, but in the end, it really, really matters because the Nuggs are full of spice. And although they're smashing all each other. Okay, I'm sorry. Transition duck, we're ready.
No, that was a perfect ending. What a great segue into a topic for today. That you came prepared with, right, Sean?
Is it me? I can do it, sure.
No. I was messing. I mean, you can.
I just remember you said something in the chat last time about talking about something. I don't remember what it was. So I assumed you wanted to talk about that. But if you don't want to, I believe I have something if I dig deep enough in my pants. There's something there.
Oh no, I would not want you to have to do that, especially after everything you've had to do today. Like, oh man, I just couldn't ask that of you. I'll take one for the team this time, okay? But
are you sure? You're too kind. Everybody, hey, everybody, let's have a round of applause for Zach. Let's. Okay, no, come on, guys. That's not cool. That's not cool. There we go.
Oh, thank you. Wow, I got a little worried there. I was about to just like drop the call, have you finish the rest of the episode by yourself, but.
What would you like to talk about, Zach?
Dude, this episode. I think we're both on one today. I asked you last time if you had read the book of The Alchemist. And you said you had, like, in high school, like way back when, I think?
Yep, that's correct. You're talking about, because I've read 2 books called The Alchemist, and you're talking about the older one about the kid going on a journey to find some treasure or something like that.
Yeah, it's about a shepherd who ends up going on a journey to the pyramids.
Yes.
And following his personal journey, or I can't remember what they exactly called it.
The hero's journey?
No, that wasn't it.
Oh.
I'm disappointed in you. No, but anyways.
Omens?
Omens, yes. Well, there was omens, and there was 2 rocks. I forget what rocks were called.
I just scrolled up to read what you said previously about it. So
man, I'm a genius. Good job. No, but basically, how I came to read this was my capstone class required us to pick a book from like a list of like 10, and then just read it. And like every third of the semester, we're gonna have like a book report on like that third of the book, basically. Okay. And and like literally every other book was like some sort of self-help book. And I was just like, I can't, no, please. No. And I saw this one, I'm like, The Alchemist? I mean, it at least sounds like it's a story. I'm like, okay, it's about like a shepherd or something, going on a journey. Sure, we'll get that one. And man, it was really fetching good. I really enjoyed it. It's actually a pretty short read. It's only like 200-ish pages, something like that.
Sure.
So I read it in like 2 nights. So it was actually really good.
Bragging.
Oh, no, those are some weak numbers, Sean. I'm not bragging. I'm putting myself down there right now. Well, no, because I originally just planned to start reading just so I could be prepared for the book report, right? And then,
Yeah.
and then I was like, well, dang, I'm going to finish this book tomorrow. Like, what the fetch? That was really good. No, but it was actually, a really cool story that, I feel like actually had a lot of topics in it that we've already discussed before with Spicy Nuggs. And a few things that, I think that obviously the biggest one is, I think there is this underlying tone of journey before destination throughout the entire book. I don't know how much you recall, but in the beginning of the book, the shepherd's plan is he's 3 days away from this next village and he's super excited because there was this girl he met there a year ago or 2 years ago when he last visited it, and he's like, oh man, it would be so great. I'm excited to get to this village. And then he ends up stopping in a different town on the way, and this man basically, he claims he's a king, and basically convinces him to sell all of sell his flock and follow his personal journey to the pyramids to find his treasure. And he does, and he crosses the river over into Egypt, and he gets into this first town, and the very first person he meets basically robs him for everything he has.
Okay.
And 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 so of course he's like, what have I done? This was a terrible decision and stuff, right? But then he ends up just following the what they call the omens of or just opportunities that appear in your life almost, and ends up working in a shop where they sell cups of glass and stuff like that, and it's just really fascinating, because you think, okay, yeah, he's set, he's ready, and then all of a sudden he ends up stuck in this town working for 2 years just to re-earn the money that he got robbed from in one night, right?
Right.
But and that's just the very beginning of this book, and I did a terrible job explaining it, but you've read it, so spoilers incoming for the end. But basically, he finally gets to he ends up meeting a girl while crossing the desert, and he falls in love with her. But then he's he's about to stop and just trying. He thinks about settling down basically, and just no longer moving forward and stuff. And but eventually he decides no, he's gonna continue on to the pyramids, and he finally gets there, and he's where he needs to be, and he starts digging and he's digging and he's digging, and there's nothing there. And eventually other people come, and they end up just beating him up, and basically, and when they finally ask what he was doing, because they thought he was digging for treasure, right, that he had hid previously, so they were like, you're gonna dig this up, whatever. And when he doesn't find anything, they beat him up. But one of he's like, why are you out here digging? And basically he tells the man that it was his personal journey and he was here to find his treasure. And then the man said, that's nonsense. He's like, the same man appeared to me and told me I would find treasure underneath an oak tree or some sort of tree in the middle of an abandoned church. And in the very beginning of the book, that's where the boy sleeps for the night. And so instead of, and so in a way, it's just crazy that he finds out that his treasure was actually back where he started, basically, and
Yeah.
so, but like, he never would have known about the treasure or the treasures he found along the way of the woman he loved, of finding friends while crossing the desert, of working in the glass shop and becoming really good friends with the owner, and like I don't know, it was like such like a good story, and but like there wasn't like any crazy battles or action. It was just a page turner the whole way through though. I don't know. I don't know if you remember this book very well, but I freaking loved it.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, I do. I as you've talked, like glimmers of things have come back to my mind. I basically only remembered the beginning and the end. Honest, I did remember that it like circled back around to it being at the beginning. Although you talking now, and you can tell me because you just finished reading it. But you talking now made me think because I think before when I talked about it like in my English class, it was like a lot of the theme was like you said, journey before destination, the journey before you find whatever the treasure is, and you won't even know where to look correctly if you don't even start the journey, even if you're just going in the wrong direction, stuff like that. I wonder if part of the theme of the book also is found in the idea that that man had given up on his journey.
No,
Oh, his
so
personal journey, yeah, became the main character's personal journey, treasure, whatever. Do you
right.
get where I'm coming
No,
from here?
yeah, yeah. It's actually really interesting because the copy of the book I have, it has like an introduction from the author before the story starts and like stuff at the very end, and the introduction is actually really fascinating. He talks about he talks about there's four obstacles um, to reaching our personal legend or our dreams. Um, I think the first the first obstacle was we are told from childhood onward, that everything we want to do is impossible. Um,
Hmm.
and then the I can't find the other ones, but I really found the fourth one was fascinating. It's almost something I've like been able to relate to with just where I am in my life, because I'm in my very last semester of college, and um, depending on how things go, I could very well be in Japan by the end of the year.
Cool, man.
And like that's kind of insane. And like I almost feel like part of me has been like almost trying not to do well in college, like because like if I fail a class, then maybe I'll just have to retake it, and then I have more time to
Mhm.
not freak out. I'm like, what are you doing, Zach? You're so stupid. You've been trying to get that like through this whole time. I think part of that is just like almost a fear of making it to my goal. And that's where this four, and I think the way he describes it in his introduction here with the four obstacles is really good. I want to read a little passage for you, and it says, "Then comes the fourth obstacle, the fear of realizing the dream for which we fought all our lives. Each man kills the thing he loves and is true. The mere possibility of getting what we want fills the soul of an ordinary person with guilt." Um, and then he goes on to say that um, how there's been lots. He's known lots of people that when they were in just when their personal calling or dream was within their grasp, they went on to commit a series of stupid mistakes and never reached their goal. Um, and then he says, "This is the most dangerous of obstacles because it has a kind of saintly aura about it, renouncing joy and conquest. But if you believe in yourself worthy of the thing you fought so hard to get, then you become an instrument of God, and you help the soul of the world." And it's just like it's crazy how like much I've related to like this book. I think a lot of that only comes like I don't think if I read this book at any other point in my life, I would have appreciated it as much as I did right now. Um, and the crazy thing is, there's not like one scene or anything in the book that I'm like, this was it. This was the moment I love this book. It was just like the entire experience and journey of this shepherd. But I don't know. I have like so much thoughts about this book, but like at the same time, like people just need to read it. Like I can't tell you, I can't explain what this book made me feel. It's something you have to do for yourself.
Interesting. So that's super cool. That passage made me think. It made me think of NF. Of
yes,
course.
yes.
Because that's so much, and I think it's pretty common nowadays. And no, you can answer the question, or if you don't want to, you don't have to, obviously. But like, I guess like the question is, what you've worked so hard to reach this goal. Once you reach the goal, then what? And not to say like you have to go out and create some new goal for yourself. Like the problem NF had is he achieved all of this success that he'd fought tooth and nail his whole life to get, and he realized that the success itself isn't what made him a more complete person. So I ponder that in the case of the Alchemist, because I think, like you said, the Alchemist portrays it in a really good way, where even though he gets the goal at the end, like you said, it almost like the goal, it's proven to show that like you never would have gotten it if you never didn't take the journey, but B, like you just said, it wasn't the goal at the end that was the big magical moment of the book. Was the whole journey was.
Right.
So there's maybe something kind of beautiful just in that fact. Live life, life before death, journey before destination, all those good things. I don't know. Yeah.
It all comes back to Stormlight.
It always does, baby.
No, I like what you said, and I think that's absolutely like your thing too. And I think that is definitely a fear for a lot of people. Is like, what happens when I do achieve what I set out to do? What is next? Or maybe it's not going to be everything I was hoping, right? Or something like that. But and I for myself, like I have like ideas of what I want to do after, or like depending on how things go. But even that in itself is like having just ideas based on how everything else goes is like strange, because like I've been in school my whole life, right? Like everything is I've had a clear goal for the last like what freaking 4.5 years, and like I feel like it's interesting that like there's a fear of succeeding because of the unknown after the success. And like that's not something I ever really considered. Because everyone thinks about like the fear of failing or all the obstacles they have to overcome. But it's like, okay, but what challenges are there when you actually do make it? And I feel like that's something that like isn't talked about a lot. So I feel like that's almost like something that I really pulled from the book as well. But
that's great. I don't even know what else to say about it. I guess I'll say, as someone who has found his goal and found pure success and is a fully complete person, I'm just so proud of you for growing and becoming, Zach.
Thanks,
even in your small, minuscule, tiny way compared to me.
You know what? And maybe one day, if I work my entire life, maybe one day I can also work at the UPS store and really figure out what life's all about. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I had to. That was so mean, but at the same time, it was so perfect.
Nah, man, it's 1,000,000% perfect.
Well, I got nothing else. I ramble about a lot, but nothing at the same time. So, and that's what I plan to do today. So,
I think this
I'm
episode was a
satisfied.
10 out of 10.
What is it? What it's not what we think. It's what the duck thinks now. Let's be honest. Duck, how'd we do?
Yeah.
Duck, how'd we do?
Duck.
I don't think that's a very good sign, Sean. But
I don't think
there's only one thing you can do at a time like this. It's not what I was thinking. We'll take it. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm still Zach.
I'm still Sean. You cut out, so I can't tell if you said it.
I will see you next time.
It's very big, 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 big water. It's very big, 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 big water. It's deep and dark and dangerous, scary and mysterious. In that big water.
Oh,
Anyways.
ruined. Man, I was just about to say, I can't wait to come back and listen to this outro and just listen to the guitar again.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. I don't want to brag.
He's so humble, too.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's what you gotta be. You gotta be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
Dude, we have the same cause. What the fetch?
Whoa, that's crazy. Your cause is to train.
I feel like we need to put all of that in like a screenshot at the end of the episode or something. It's just like, what is happening? But I'm down.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm wishing my Wi-Fi was better than it is.
Tragic.
Ugh.
I don't know how to help you with that. Actually, I do know how to
Zach.
help you with that. Are you ready?
Oh, Zach, tell me the ways. Tell me the ways, Zach.
You
Tell me
first you gotta go
Don't
to
do it. Don't say it.
Amazon.com.
Ah.
And you gotta buy yourself an Ethernet cable
Oh my gosh.
for
The
a whole
thing came with an Ethernet cable.
$15. Oh, you already have one.
It's not. I can't. It's upstairs. I'm downstairs. It's a problem.
No, Sean, there is like 50-foot Ethernet cables. I have one.
I don't want a cable going through both my house and my sister's.
No, it's fine. It's fine. You just like tape it to the floorboard or something, and then
Oh
you're
my
Gucci.
gosh.
In fact, better yet, just drill a hole through the floor.
Oh my gosh.
Why am I laughing?
Best part of that is like
Why am I
50% of it. I can't even hear you.
Oh, really?
It's like cutting out so much.
I honestly would have never known because you sound pretty good on my end, so.
Oh, thanks, man.
Well, you're welcome.
Wow.
Don't get used to it. I have a feeling I spent Robo, didn't I?
Don't get you. That's what I heard.
Man, it's gonna be such a good episode again.
It really is.